And I get that, you might be a little bit old, out of shape, you need time to warm up, you don't want to do randori, that's fine. But I feel that the number one mistake that these guys make is that they What's up guys, call me Bjj Fitness, welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new, this channel is all about fitness for martial arts for older guys. If you're young, you won't be for long. In today's video, we're going to talk about the number one mistake that older guys make when practicing judo. You see a lot of older guys with some bellies sometimes doing judo, and all they do is like come in, warm up, do a little bit of uchikomi, then they stretch a little bit, then they'll walk around showing technique and all, and that's great. And then they'll do a little bit of randori, but really not much, more to show the beginners what to do and all. And I get that you might be a little bit old, out of shape, you need time to warm up, you don't want to do randori, that's fine. But I feel that the number one mistake that these guys make is that they neglect their fitness. Some of y'all, and you guys know who I'm talking about, and this is not a knock on you, but you got to get fit, man. Fitness is super important. And it doesn't matter how old you are, because I've seen some old guys and they're fit and they're still going at it. They're not just going in there to basically teach and show people what they know without even being able to demonstrate, without even being able to do a little bit of randori, and without even demonstrating that they can do froze. They're there because they love the sport, they're passionate about the sport, but then the issue is that they can't actually do anything. And I get it, injuries due to old age, due to competition, due to a whole bunch of factors makes it so that you can't be as active as you want to be. But the fun in judo is to be able to actually practice judo, not just teach it, in my opinion. So that's why fitness is the most important thing. It's the foundation of everything. So practicing judo does make you fitter, but to be judo fit, you have to take fitness into your own hands. So you actually have to do stuff outside of judo to maintain that fitness, to support your fitness, your strength, your cardio, your mobility, your stability, so that you could keep doing judo. As a point of reference, I know it's not perfect because it doesn't take into consideration muscle mass and all that, but BMI is important. So you have to be in the healthy range, whatever that is for you, for your height, your age, and all that, then that's where you need to be at the minimum. But the truth is, I think 15% body fat is where you should be. Every man should be 15% body fat. At 15% body fat, it's not too much to ask. I'm not asking for 10%. 15% body fat, you look good in clothes, you look good without clothes, if you have enough muscle. And it's not just about looking good. Looking good is a result of being at 15% body fat. But at 15% body fat, you're definitely in the lower range of your BMI. And on top of that, it's a very healthy body fat percentage to be at, and it's actually very realistic. So weight is one thing. Now the other thing is your strength. So I looked it up because when we say strong, how strong do you need to be? Well, there are standards out there that come from powerlifting. And I looked it up on the internet, and we're going to look at it right now together. And I think what I found here is reasonable. Now the standards are different depending on the experience level you have, and it gets pretty complicated and all. But this one that I found here makes sense, and we're going to take a look at it together. And you guys will let me know in the comment section what you think. So for your strength to be adequate, squat strength standards, 1.5 times your body weight. That's not bad. I like that. I'll have to dig in a little bit deeper and give you guys a little bit more details about this. But for now, this makes sense to me. Bench press standards, 1.2 times your body weight. That's fair. That's not too much. You should be at least able to bench your own body weight, in my opinion. And 1.2, it's not too crazy. Deadlift strength standards, 2 times your body weight. I would say you can go to even 1.5 here. Because 2 times your body weight is pretty extreme. Like for example, I weigh 150. So 2 times my body weight is 300. I mean, 300 pounds is a lot to pick up. Overhead press strength standards, 0.8 times your body weight. Okay, so it's a little bit less. It's 80% of your body weight, essentially. I might have to modify that a little bit. I'll see. By the way, guys, this is something that we work towards slowly, progressively. And we have to make sure that it doesn't take so much recovery time getting to this point that it takes away from our martial art practice. Because if it does, then it's not worth it. After a certain point, you don't need to it's a point of diminishing return. So there's no point in trying to get, for example, a 500-pound squat, because at one point it becomes a sport in itself, the sport of powerlifting, and then it's highly technical, it's highly risky for your joints. The risk of injury increases exponentially, in my opinion, so it's not even worth it anymore. These are things that you want to achieve naturally. And when I mean naturally, I mean more casually. So you're training a little bit every day, you're working on your fitness. What I mean is that on some days you do squat, some days you do bench, some days you do deadlift, some days you do overhead press, some days you do chin-ups or pull-ups. And that's it. You don't have to invest too much time into this, because most of your time should be invested in training your martial art. I say 80% of the time in martial arts, 20% of the time on your fitness. For chin-up or pull-up, strength standards, 8 reps with body weight. That sounds very reasonable to me. Or at least 1 rep with body weight plus 20%. That sounds fair as well. Okay, cardio now. So we looked at your weight, we looked at your strength. Now cardio. How much cardio should you have? Well, I believe that you should be able to run 5 kilometers under 30 minutes. So 25 minutes, in my opinion, would be good enough. And the truth is, you don't even have to do this on a daily, weekly basis. You could just practice this here and there when you need to, because you want to have the ability to run 5K, and it is a skill. But I mean, with all the training that you're already doing, with all the judo you're doing, with all the strength work you're doing, you should be able to do 5 kilometers in about 25 minutes. And I looked this up to see how long it should take you to do 5K, like what the standards are. And that's where I came up with 25 minutes. So let's take a look at this together. Average 5K time for men. Men are faster than women by nature. The average time for men across all ages is 22 minutes and 40 seconds. If you are a beginner and your age is between 20 and 40 years old, a good average time is 31 minutes and 59 seconds. However, if you are a novice or intermediate, you are looking for 26 minutes, 42 seconds, and 22 minutes and 58 seconds respectively. Guys, I'm 45 years old. I don't give a fuck about this age thing. The way I see it is that I take what the high end is, I take what the low end is, and I just round it up. And I remember when I was running 5K, and I was doing it regularly, I was about at 25 minutes, 25, maybe 24 minutes, 4 or 5 kilometers. I remember that. And now that I'm reading this and I looked this up, and it's telling me anywhere between 22, 30 minutes, depending on age, blah, 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 I just average it out. Keep it at 25 minutes. That's it. Done. Now there's 2 other components to fitness. So there's stability and there's mobility, flexibility. You want to be as stable as humanly possible. When it comes to mobility and flexibility, you want to be as mobile and flexible as possible while being able to control your muscles at that range. Because there's no point in being so flexible that you could turn yourself into a pretzel, but you don't have control of your muscles at that range. It's just slack. It's useless. It's like, okay, so people could twist you into a pretzel. How is that even useful, right? But stability, there is no such thing as too goddamn stable. You want to be stable, super stable. I don't know if you guys ever heard this, but there's no such thing as too strong of a core. So in regards to stability, there's no such thing as too stable, too much stability. And FYI, this is where farmer strength comes from. You guys ever heard of farmer strength and farmer walks? Well, it's because of the element of instability that's integrated into the work they do. So when they walk around with a whole bunch of hay or carrying random, heavy, awkwardly shaped objects, well, and they do this all day, every day, from 6 in the morning until 6 in the evening, 365 days a year, well, there's a lot of instability in what they're doing. So they have to constantly stabilize. So if you're doing it that much, then obviously you're going to develop some farmer strength. And farmer strength is strong, very strong. But guys, the good news is you don't have to live on a farm to develop farmer strength. You need stability. That's what they have. And that's what most people don't have. That's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think down below. If you have any questions, ask me on IG or put them down below. If you ask me on IG, I'll answer you directly and probably faster than in the comment section. And that's it for now. Peace.